Hello, I'm Ricky Davis. I'd like to tell you a story, but since I'm only 2, I don't talk very good. Would you mind if I asked this man to tell my story for me? Okay?
Okay, Ricky. Here's your story. Just like you'd tell it if you were a little older. I didn't really know anything about the Shriners Hospital until a few months ago. But now I get to come back every couple of months to see if everything's okay. It's a pretty nice place. I got a lot of friends here, so I like it when Mom says, "Come on, Ricky, we're going out to Shriners today." I know when I get here, I'll meet some new kids, and I'll see Ginny. She's my buddy upstairs in the playroom, and she's teaching Mom and me how to use these new arms of mine. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do, but we're trying, Mom and me, and we'll do it. It'll just take time. We don't usually have to wait very long to see Dr. Shaneker. He's nice, too, and he makes sure I'm doing okay. Boy, they keep an eye on you when you're one of their kids. This all started for me earlier this year. I'll never forget that first time. So many nice people. That's when I first met Ginny. She gave me ice cream. Well, wasn't it I couldn't get along? I could feed myself. Especially ice cream. Oh, I drop some every once in a while, but gee whiz, I'm only 2, you know. I was doing all right with other things, too. Blocks, for instance. They weren't any problem. I guess I could stack them as well as anybody else. And I could use crayons and pencils. And if it was small enough to grab hold of, I could even throw a ball. You know, it's a funny thing. When you don't have any arms to start with, you don't really miss them very much. I remember the first time I came here. One of the Shriners said to me, "Ricky, Mother Nature taught you to do things without arms, and now we're going to teach you to do things with arms. And you'll just have to try to forget those feet of yours for a while." I guess he was right about that, but you know something? It's still easier for me if they let me use my feet. See? Bet you I can get another one up there. Oh, darn. That was quite a day, that first day. I know now that they were just letting me get used to the place. Ginny had taken Mom and me all over. She showed us where I'd sleep, and where I'd eat, and right here where I'd play. And boy, do they have the toys here. This is one of my favorites. It's a kind of a merry-go-round and a schoolroom all put together. And you see, I can arrange it just any old way I want to. I guess I didn't realize until later on that all this was here for a reason. It's really a physical therapy room. Yeah, that's what Ginny calls it. It's a place where we work and practice. But Ginny makes it fun. See? I don't know that I really needed arms. I could do all these things. I could feed myself, and I could drink water, too. Who needs arms? That first day, though, it was a busy one. Leo's the technician, and he'd taken a mold of my arms and shoulders. And he told me the next time I saw him, he'd have a surprise for me. Well, he sure did. I remember Ginny had come up to the ward right after our morning nap to get me. "This is going to be a big day, Ricky," she said, and boy, it sure was. Leo had my new arms all ready to go. And you know something? They really worked. Took a little getting used to, but they worked. And right after lunch, I got to try them out. Ginny was pretty smart, though. She put my shoes on first, and then my new arms. This was sure going to be different. She slipped them over my shoulders and fixed up the straps, and I was all ready to try them out. This little old cash register was pretty tough at first. I hit the button and the drawer popped out okay. But boy, getting that chip out of there, well, that's gonna take some practice. Sure wish I had these darn shoes off. It would make things a whole lot easier, I'll tell you that. Now the beanbag, that's something else. If you do this just right, if you push down and you move your shoulder just right, you can grab hold of it, and you can pick it up, and you can throw it. Well, almost. I guess we worked for about a half an hour. And then Ginny said, "Come on, Ricky, you've done pretty well, and you deserve some ice cream." And boy, this is where I realized how much I had to learn. Like I said before, eating was never really a problem for me. But now I'm going to have to learn all over again. Come to think of it, I guess most of the kids that come here have that problem, don't they? I see Patty working a lot with her new leg, and she's about the same age I am. But you know, when you see some of the older kids here, and you see how well they do, it sort of gives you confidence. I know I'll be able to do this a lot better someday. But it's a little rough right now. I'm glad Ginny was there helping me move that elbow, or I probably never would have gotten all that ice cream. And you know how I like my ice cream. I got kind of messy, I'll admit that. But at least I proved something. I could use my new arms, and I'll get a lot better as I go along. Well, Ginny cleaned me up, and we went back to see Mom. And the people at the hospital had been telling her how to work with me and what to do and all kinds of things like that. And now we were going to get what they called a together lesson. See, Ginny told Mom to do this and do this. I'm not really sure how these new arms of mine do what they do. I don't think Mom is either. The toughest thing is going to be learning to use the ends right. I've never had any fingers, so I'm not really sure what they're supposed to do. But I guess I'll learn. I'll tell you one thing. It's a whole heck of a lot easier to use my feet if they just take those shoes off. Ginny spent a lot of time with us that day, showing us all the things my arms will do. See, they'll move up and down, and they'll move sideways, too. And Ginny told Mom and me that as I get used to using them, I'll be able to do all kinds of things. I guess that's what this is all about, isn't it? I can't spend the rest of my life with my shoes off, and I'm beginning to understand that now. Oh, we'll make it. Don't you worry about that. We'll make it, Mom and me. But gee whiz, it really isn't going to be very easy. Well, that's how I got started here at Shriners, and now I'm an outpatient. And Mom and Grandpa and I come back every couple of months, and they check me over, and they make sure my arms are working and that I'm working with them. And you know, every time we come to Shriners, I see the Gold Book. One of the doctors told us one day that that was the heart of the hospital. I didn't know what he meant until he told Mom that everybody who ever helped the Shriners do their work there at the hospital had their name written in that book. Gee, there must be a lot of names in there. I remember Mom held me up and she read the words. In this book of gold are recorded the names of those who have been mercifully mindful of little children who needed help. For them, we pray God's blessings. Dedicated to those who have aided in our work. Shriners Hospital for Crippled Children, St. Louis Unit. I guess the doctor was right. That really is the heart of the hospital. And you know something? It's great. Well, that's your story, Ricky. Did we do it all right?
You sure did, mister, except for one thing. It's not the whole story. I've got a lot of growing to do, and the Shriners have promised to help. Come back next year and see how we're doing.